4 wall, 5th wall, 6th wall, 7th wall, 8 wall, 9 wall, 10 wall, 11 wall, 12 wall, 13, 15, 17, Kansas City, West Bank, Veteran, North Shore. And you know that we gonna get it. Rockin' with the Saints and you know that we so committed. I'm never gonna stop cause you know we got it. And who that boys out on the field wildin'. The Superdome be grown, the Superdome be on. I tell them like this, we who that strong. The who that nation in this thing, you dig. And you know one thing, we about to do it again. Every team at the team, we going to the bowl. We gonna bring it back, you know we got soul. Black and gold all the way, man. And the NFL know that we ain't playing.
Only in New Orleans, Saints our favorite team. Who that on the scene for sure.
Welcome to another edition of Sports Overtime. I am your host, Nader Murphic, alongside with my homie, Soul Saint in the building tonight.
Saints plus Soul equals Super Bowl.
Yes, sir. You know what it is, man. So me and Soul going to be holding it down tonight. Teddy G has something come up, so he'll be back next week. Shout out to Teddy G.
We miss you. Shout out, Teddy.
Yeah,
we
man,
miss you,
big
bro.
shout out to Teddy G, man.
See you next week.
Listen, man, we got a big show tonight. We just got on the show, and before we got on the show, me and Soul was talking about what Jared Cook was saying earlier today. I know you got something to say about it. I know I definitely got something to say about it. But for those Saints fans that don't know, man, Jared Cook came out today and said that they probably got better talent on the Chargers than they do here in New Orleans.
What else is he going to say?
Exactly.
He got booted out of New Orleans.
Thank you, Johnny, for that. I appreciate that.
You know, he got booted out of New Orleans. He changed the momentum in our last game when we would have went up 2 scores.
Yep.
He had the towel over his head. So, you know, he's out of New Orleans. We didn't want him anymore.
Right.
So, of course, he's going to say that when he goes to the Chargers.
But,
you know, he wants to get on their good side.
The thing about it, though, Soul, is how your sad ass gonna come out and say something like that?
Yeah,
like,
man,
come on, dog. You didn't fumble how many times? You done had so many concussions. We brought you here to do your job, and man, he ain't do nothing last year. Like, he couldn't do a damn thing. You know, he had Adam Trotman. Adam Trotman was holding it down pretty much the whole year last year, running routes and blocking. And I mean, come on, Jared Cook, bro. How you gonna have more talent on the Chargers than the Saints?
But that's okay.
Come on, bro.
That's
I mean,
okay.
listen, and I understand, too. I understand, so that he has to say that because he plays for the Chargers now.
Right.
But come on, man. Let's be real. Let's keep it 100.
Yeah, you don't put another team down. What he should have said was he had a lot of talent over there, back there with the Saints. You know, I appreciate them giving me the opportunity. Now I'm here with the Chargers.
Right.
This is my team now. You know, don't put another team down because you mad because they booted you out, bro.
Stay your sad ass with the Chargers then. That's all I got to say.
They're going to be getting rid of him next.
They're going to be getting rid of your ass pretty soon, especially when you fumble once or twice. Your ass going to be sitting on that bench. Because, you know, with the Chargers, they're used to having good tight end play. Right. You know, Antonio Gates, Hunter Henry, those type of players. Now Hunter Henry's with the Patriots. So, again, man, once you fumble once or twice, those words are going to come back to haunt you. So.
He could never fill Gates' shoes.
Oh, hell
Get
no.
it.
Hell no. Hell no, hell no, hell no. Now, speaking of the Chargers, this was probably the most ridiculous take that I've seen on social media this summer. Pro Football Focus came out yesterday and said they would rather take Austin Eckler, which is the Chargers running back, over Alvin Kamara in 2021. How ridiculous is that statement? How could you take Austin Eckler over Kamara regarding anything football-wise? Am I right?
Man, let me tell you, Austin Eckler is a good back. You know, he's a pretty good back. But he's nothing. He's on a whole different level. And that's a lower level than Kamara. There's no way, man. Come on, man.
Like Kamara,
they're just always trying to put the Saints down, bro.
Kamara is basically A-list talent. Eckler is C-list talent. That's just my opinion.
I give him
That's
C+.
Like if you were to throw a party, right?
Yeah.
If you were to throw a party in a club and you had Alvin Kamara hosting your party, people going to show out.
Exactly.
They're going to show up for that. Are people really going to show up for a guy like Austin Eckler, though?
People might say, who is Austin Eckler?
Who that?
You know, who that?
Right? Who that? So the thing is, yeah, obviously it's production. We know on the field, but Austin Eckler got hurt last year. in the beginning of the season, so he was out. But again, he's not a bad back.
Right.
You know, he definitely can run through the tackles. He reminds me of kind of Pierre Thomas, where he could catch them screens and do different things like that. But man, Kamara is an all-purpose back, man. He can, you know, gain 1,000 yards in the season. He can catch 80 catches in the season. He can break 7-8 tackles. He can score 6 touchdowns in the game.
He can do it all.
He can do it all, man. So please do not compare Austin Eckler to Alvin Kamara. Pro Football Focus.
If you're gonna compare,
y'all gotta hold that L on that one.
Right. If you're gonna compare, don't do that.
Don't do that, man. Come on, man.
Not that comparison.
Come on. Now, speaking of Alvin Kamara, so Kamara is launching his own cereal called Kamara's King Crunch. I think he's seen that take from Pro Football Focus and said, man, all right, y'all want to, I bet you Austin Eckler ain't got no cereal, right?
Yeah, man. I mean,
what you think about that,
King,
so?
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, me either.
I can't wait to taste it, you know, to see, you know, I mean, I don't know.
Are you a big cereal fan?
Not like I used to, but, you know, I do, you know, I'm a Lucky Charms man.
What's your top 3 cereal?
Lucky Charms, Frosted Flakes, and Honeycomb.
All right. All right. I was gonna say Captain Crunch, the Crunch Berries. I don't know. I just rock with those Crunch Berries. You gotta go Frosted Flakes too.
Yeah, you gotta go.
You gotta go Frosted Flakes, and I would say Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Yeah,
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
That sounds like my kids. My kids love Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Yeah, Cinnamon Toast Crunch goes hard, man. So big shout out to Alvin Kamara. Some of the proceeds from selling his cereal is gonna go to the kids as well.
Okay.
So that's a good thing, and obviously he's trying to help the community in the best way he can. So anybody trying to help the community, I'm down for it. So big shout out to him, man, for sure. Yep. Now, I just wanted to throw this stat out there. So because, you know, we talk about Kamara, we talk about the Saints, you know, there's a lot of discussions about, Jameis versus Taysom and the offense. And if Mike Thomas gets hurt, what are the Saints going to do? Or, you know, how many touchdowns is Traquan Smith going to have this year, being that he has a quarterback that can get him the ball 50, 60 yards now, right?
Yeah.
So with all of that being said, I know a lot of people panic about what the Saints offense is going to look like this year, whether it's with Winston or with Taysom Hill. But man, a stat that really kind of stood out to me, and I seen this on Twitter, in all 17 years of coaching, Sean Payton has had a top 10 offense every year. Every single year, Sean Payton has had a top 10 offense,
yes, sir,
including 6 number 1 offenses with the Saints. So for those people who think that the Saints are going to take this back burner approach going into the season, you know, running a ball a little bit more, not getting a ball downfield, you're definitely wrong, because as you know, Sean Payton is going to let Jameis sling it if Jameis wins the starting job, right? Even with Taysom, I think he'll let him sling it. But I just feel overall, man, I know a lot of people talk about the Saints offense. I think they're still going to be straight regardless if they have Taysom or Winston moving into the season.
Exactly, man. You know, they had Drew Brees running things, and, you know, we still were in the top 10, top 5, number 1 offense. It didn't matter. Now we have a guy that, you know, and people talk about this guy Winston all the time, talk about what he did in Tampa. You know, watch that. Man, give this guy a clean slate. He's with a good coach. And like I said, this coach is going to show him, you know, like he said, he had that Harvard, you know, quarterback year. So he's going to show him how to be a great quarterback. He was good with Tampa. He's going to be great with the Saints. And the Saints offense is going to be scary, man. Take my word for it. They're going to be scary. It's just so much they're going to be able to do with Taysom and with Winston.
Yeah, and I think that, like you said, man, he learned from Drew Brees. And, you know, a lot of people are like, man, I just hope Jameis Winston wins the starting job. I don't think there's a doubt that he will win the job, especially with what he said in his interviews this past week, with him saying that he flew Traquan Smith out to California to work out with him. Like, as a quarterback, it's all about leadership as a quarterback. So by you flying out a wide receiver that you know you're going to be able to sling the ball to 50, 60 yards down the field and he's going to catch it, that shows me that he has those leadership type skills to have this wide receiver core and this offense move forward and take the realms after Drew Brees going into this year. So I'm very impressed with him so far. He has said all of the right things, but now it is time to show out and ball out in training camp and ball out in the season, man. And,
That's right.
And let's get it. You know, this is his opportunity, like we talked about in previous shows. You know, with that being said, this is his opportunity to show not only the Saints, but to show the whole league that he can get the job done. And it wasn't because of Tampa Bay, and it wasn't because of the offensive line in Tampa Bay or the running back situation or any of that or the coaching staff. You're in a good situation. You're with the New Orleans Saints. You're with an offensive genius in Sean Payton. You have a lot of offensive weapons. You know, you have Kamara, you have Mike Thomas. There's no excuses.
Exactly.
There is no excuses now. So like you said, so give him a clean slate. Let him win the starting job. And if he wins the starting job, I think he's going to really do good this year.
Exactly. The haters, stop hating.
Stop hating.
You know, stop hating, man. Just give the guy a shot. You know, let's see what he does, and y'all support him. Mm-hmm. You know, let's all get behind Jameis Winston and this offense, Sean Payton, everybody. And, you know, just see what this guy's going to do, man. Give him all the support he needs.
And, you know, so the thing about it is a lot of people don't want to let go. You know, they don't want to let go of the whole Drew Brees not being with the Saints anymore. And so they don't want to let go of that hurt. So it's kind of hard to bring back somebody into the fold, somebody new into the fold, because it's kind of like you just getting over your girlfriend. And then now you got a new girlfriend, but you still got that little hurt inside from what you went through with your old girlfriend. Yeah. So, you know,
sometimes
that's kind of,
you gotta move on.
You gotta move on. That's what the Who Dat Nation gotta do moving forward. Y'all, we all gotta move on.
Gotta move, yo.
We gotta get the next person a chance, you know. So give them a chance to win you over. Now, speaking of Drew Brees, the Saints put Drew Brees on the retired list this week. And by doing that, the Saints gained about $415,000 in cap space. And now they're going to have $6 million in total in cap space moving forward. So now they got some money to play around with. And as you know, so $6 million is a lot of money in Mickey Loomis math, because he can make that, flip that, sign 3 players.
Right.
You know, and still have some cap space. And still have some cap space. So listen, I like the move. Obviously, we had to do that move before June 1st. So that's what they did. But $6 million in cap space. Maybe we can go out and sign a guy like Dre Kirkpatrick now to hold down the cornerback fort.
Or Richard Sherman.
So I know you like Richard Sherman.
Yeah, I like Richard Sherman. I mean, just that veteran leadership, that fire, you know. I mean, I done seen the guy's fire. I seen how he get on them defensive players, man.
And he used to be with Chris Richard in Seattle.
Exactly.
Yep. Now, speaking of Seattle, for anybody watching on YouTube, man, please comment underneath the video. Let us know what Saints game you're going to this year on the road. Me and Soul actually going to the Seattle game. So what others ones you got?
We're gonna have a lot of people going to.
You got a
I got a bus
ride.
I'm putting together going to Tennessee.
Okay.
And we want to go to Tampa. I just want to go to Tampa. I got to go to Tampa.
All right.
You know, Brady.
Tampa's fun.
You know,
Tampa's very fun. Yeah. It's fun. I was actually in Tampa Kamara's rookie season where he took that punt return all the way back for a touchdown on the first play. That was the game I was at. It was so hot, though, that day. And we ended up losing that game. Because we were going to play the Carolina Panthers in the playoffs that year. It was the last game of the season. And it looked like, and I always tell people this, it looked like standing on the sideline and looking at it, it looked like Sean Payton told Marshawn Lattimore that game to just let them score, because regardless if they won or not, they were going to play the Panthers in the playoffs.
Right.
So that game, I'm watching it, and on the last play, Chris Godwin scores a touchdown, and Lattimore really ain't do nothing. And the game was over. We walked out of the stadium, and Tampa Bay fans was like yelling and screaming, "Oh, we beat y'all, we beat y'all." And we're like, but look, next week, who y'all play? And it was like, oh, man, screw y'all.
PlayStations, Xboxes, that's what they're going to be playing.
So they was like, man, screw y'all, screw y'all. I was like, yeah, y'all be watching us in the playoffs next week. So stay tuned. Now, I want to take a quick commercial break. What I want to do is I want to take a quick commercial break. I actually did a poll question on Twitter today So I kind of want to go through some of the, responses on there, but I also want to get your take on this, Soul, as well. Obviously, you go to the Superdome a lot. You're at pretty much every game. Man, so when we come back from this commercial break, I'm going to ask you a question, and that question is going to be, what's your most memorable moment in the Superdome watching the Saints? Okay.
Gotcha.
And we're also going to get some responses from our Twitter followers and see what they said as well. So let's do this.
Easy.
Oh, it's easy for me too, but let's do this. Let's take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll touch on that. You are listening to Sports Overtime on the Music Exchange Radio Network.
I'll be back. On the Call of Duty, representing the Big Easy and our beloved New Orleans Saints football team. Super fan, black and gold super fan, super fan. Super fan, black and gold super fan, super fan. You see, I'm a super fan, you're a super fan, he's a super fan. United we stand, we black and gold super fans. Super fans, super fans. Tell them T.
Black and gold super fan, super fan. Yeah. I'm hot like the fireman. Understand? Yep. Down in the dome, you can smell the smoke. I might joke with the Joker, but I pray with the Pope. Move my pelvis like Elvis, I'm the Who That Kid. Swing like Soul Saint when I get in the ring. Put the smack down, sorta like that pimp. And when it's game time, they'll be walking with a limp. Oh, black and gold is in control. Ask Who That Cat, ask Sister Soul. Hey JJ, nobody dancing in my end zone. Chef cooking up with 5-star and T-Bone. T-Bone, legendary like the sign man. Mad Hatter with some monster in the cat, man. High five to the black and gold phantom. Y'all get crunk for the super fan anthem. Yeah. Super fan, black and gold super fan, super fan. Super fan, black and gold super fan, super fan. You see, I'm a super fan, you're a super fan, he's a super fan. United we stand, we black and gold super fans. Super fans, super fans. Let it roll, soul. Big Easy Mafia, nobody stopping ya. Them boys in black and gold are all on top of ya. Yeah. Scoring a touchdown or getting a sack. We're jumping up and down like Mac the Quack. We about to administer something sinister. 80-yard drive with a photo finisher. Victory is sweet and so delicious. Game on the line, we gotta be malicious. Yeah. Take it to them boys, sorta like a crusader. Put them to rest like they did Darth Vader. All around the dome. And who do I see? Sergeant Saint, who that champ in the hillbilly. What's up? My boys in black and gold are extremely hot. Got the moves they can't lose like Borg and Ray. See, black and gold is on a roll. We going all the way to the Super Bowl. I got my money on my Saints, a hefty king's ransom. Let's get crunk to the super fan anthem. Super fan, black and gold super fan, super fan. Super fan, black and gold super fan, super fan. You see, I'm a super fan, you're a super fan, he's a super fan. United we stand, we black and gold super fans. Super fans, super fans. Here we come. The black and gold super fans are on the scene. Soul Saint, can you tell them about our team? We that 12th man, listen to this jam. Representing die-hard Saints fans. Yeah. And the whole city with ya. We gon' talk about them till you get the picture. Take a picture and understand. Most loyal super fans in the land. Soul said it best, we better than the rest. Always giving more, never giving less. Always giving more, because we care. Yep. We come and get ya, so cancer beware. We the Who That Nation, pure devastation. I'm a true Saints fan, no hesitation. And if you're with us, come on, then raise your hand. Put 'em up. New Orleans Saints, black and gold super fan. Super fan, super fan, black and gold super fan, super fan. Super fan, super fan, black and gold super fan, super fan. You see, I'm a super fan, you're a super fan, he's a super fan. United we stand, we black and gold super fans. Super fans, super fans. Super fans.
Welcome back to Sports Overtime. I am your host, Nader Murphy, alongside my co-host, Mr. Soul Saint is in the building. He is in the building, man. Sports Overtime is sponsored by Element Beverage Company, man. Big shout out to Element. Also, too, guys, August 14th is the Element Beverage Fest at the Southern Food and Beverage Museum. It is going down 1504 Aretha C. Haley Boulevard in New Orleans, man. Y'all definitely support that. They're going to have live entertainment. They're going to have food vendors, cash bar, raffles, the whole works, man. August 14th at 6 p.m. Make sure y'all go copy y'all tickets on Eventbrite, man. It's going to be one to remember for sure.
Make that move, y'all.
Yeah, man. The whole city going to be there, man. It's going to be nice. Now, before we took that break, Soul Saint, I wanted to come back and ask this question because a lot of people commented on the tweet today, so it was one of the questions of the day. But what was your most memorable moment in the Superdome watching the Saints? You've been to a lot of games, so I definitely want to get your answer on this.
You know what? I have a few memorable games, but one kind of stood out because, it even made me shed a tear, because you remember Katrina.
Yep.
Everybody remembers Katrina.
Mm-hmm.
And, it kind of shook up the city. And a lot of people left. A lot of people, the city was divided. Some people went this way, that way, whatever.
Yep.
And our team left.
Yep.
And went to San Antonio.
And Baton Rouge.
So, I didn't really know or think the Saints was going to come back. I thought maybe they were going to be the San Antonio Saints. So, I didn't know, but we hope we wasn't even wanting to go back. But I think, by the Saints coming back to New Orleans, man, it brought a lot of people back. Because, we love our Saints, man.
For sure.
We love New Orleans. We love our Saints.
The culture, man. This is culture.
But the game for me, man, is that first game against the Atlanta Falcons,
Yep.
Michael Vick. Oh, man. That game was electric. My ears was ringing for days after I left that dome, man.
Yep.
And when that let me know football was back and here to stay, back in New Orleans, man. And that game was man.
That was special, huh?
It hit me here, yeah. And then we won. We won in spectacular fashion too.
Now,
so, it was a big game, man. Your boy Gleason's with the block punt.
Yep.
Oh man.
Curtis DeLoach picking it up.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
That's my most memorable game. Now, the second one, I know you told me one, but I got to tell my second one.
Go ahead.
My second one, bro, is, I had an uncle that was a diehard Saints fan, and he never got to see the Saints win a playoff game. He died before they won it, before your boy, what's the quarterback, number 2, won that first playoff game against the Rams. Aaron Brooks. And when we played the Minnesota Vikings. And you know what? I didn't care if we went to the Super Bowl and won, lost, but we made it there. We finally got to the Super Bowl. And that game there meant a lot. When that football went through them uprights, man, they had people crying. I'm looking around, man, people crying and sniffling and holding hands and hugging. It was memorable because it was in the dome. For one, we were at home.
Yep.
And that game sent us to the Super Bowl. The New Orleans Saints in the Super Bowl?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Oh, man.
Whoever would have thought people would say that, right?
Yeah,
especially growing up, and everybody every year would say, man, next year, right? So every year it'd be like, next year, man, we going to the playoffs next year. And then we never would go. But, it's funny that you say that because we put the question out there on Twitter today, and actually the CEO 228 actually commented, and he said the same thing. Beating Minnesota when we kicked the game winner. I remember being in the stands crying like a baby. We're going to the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Another one that somebody said is when Breeze broke the passing yardage record against the Redskins on that Monday Night Football game. He said, my ears were ringing the rest of the week. That's Dave. Dave said that. And then we also got a few more.
Let me comment on that quick.
Go ahead.
Breeze. Breeze was more of a individual thing.
Yep.
That was for him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But these other games was for the city.
For the city.
The team.
Yep.
Everybody.
Yep.
Saints fans around the nation.
Yeah.
those games, that's why they were so big. You know, it's nice when Breeze broke the record.
Oh, for sure.
You know, we were happy for him.
Yeah.
But it was an individual thing. It was for him.
Yep.
You know, but he said if it wasn't because of his teammates,
he wouldn't have
been there.
Yep, that's true.
You know, that's what I'm saying. That the impact of those other games supersedes that to me.
And you know, you also brought up the Rams game. FRS Gaming 1 on Twitter said the Saints' first playoff win against the Rams. Remember that
Aaron
like
Brooks.
it was yesterday. You know, Oz Hakeem. You know,
He dropped the ball.
He fumbled the ball.
He dropped the ball.
He dropped the ball. He dropped the ball, and they recovered it, man. So, you know, it's crazy, man. Like we have those memories, and I kind of agree with you. So, Saint, this my number one experience and most memorable moment is when they came back from Katrina, and my experience that day was pretty crazy because, you know, we haven't seen Saints football in the city for a long time. And I wanted to go to that game so bad. Now, a lot of my family didn't want to go to that game because they didn't know what to expect with the dome and all of that stuff. So I ended up going downtown. And listen how crazy this is. I ended up going downtown and I scalped some tickets, right? I scalped a ticket from a guy. So I bought a ticket. The ticket was like $200 at the time. So I bought a ticket. I'm so amped up. I'm excited. I'm ready to go, right? So every time they show us reopening the Superdome on like ESPN or whatever, they always show when they drop that banner down and there's this one guy jumping up like this, right? Well, when that happened, I was literally, no lie, standing on the front, like I was maybe 2 rows by the door ready to go in. So I get to the door and I give the lady my ticket. The lady's trying to scan the ticket, but the ticket wouldn't scan. So I'm like, oh, man.
Oh, man.
So the lady was trying to scan, and the lady was like, where did you get this ticket? And I was like, man, I bought this ticket off of Ticketmaster. I had to do something. I was trying to go in the game. Yeah. So
you ain't want to say you got it from a scalper.
Yeah, because then they wasn't going to let me in. So I was like, I got it off Ticketmaster. I don't know why it's scanning. Maybe it printed wrong. I don't know, right? So then the lady takes the ticket to her manager who was standing right there. Now, mind you, at this point, I'm holding a lineup of people trying to get in. So the guy was like, he comes over and he's like, where did you get this ticket? And I'm like, Ticketmaster. So he was like, he told the lady, he looked at the ticket for like 2-3 minutes. And then he was like, just let him in, right? So I'm like, woof, I got in, right? I'm in the dome. It's about to go down. So listen to this. You know how you take your ticket and you go to the person that's standing in the sections and you ask them, where's my seat?
Right.
So I take my ticket to the lady and I'm like, can you point me in the direction where this seat is? The lady looks at the ticket and was like, there is no seat in this Superdome with that on that ticket. I was like, what? Bruh. And not only that, factor in on top of that, it was Ramadan. I was fasting. I haven't eaten. I was trying to go get some food right before the game started so I could be straight, right? So I didn't have nowhere to sit. So I just started like lurking, starting to look around in sections or whatever.
Wow.
So I lurked around and I found a chair open on the 50-yard line at the bottom. So I sat there and you know how like when you know you're not sitting in the right seat, you had that feeling like, man,
you're always looking around.
Yeah, you looking around like, man, I
see
hope
who coming.
I hope nobody come, man. I hope nobody come and make me get up and make me look like an ass, right?
We wish.
So look,
Mama would be an ass.
So I'm looking around. I'm trying to eat my food. I'm just hoping nobody comes. And then, man, by the time the halftime came, nobody came to the seat, and I ended up sitting on the 50-yard line, which was pretty
that
crazy.
Was memorable.
But you know what was memorable about it? Not only outside of that madness, but it was kind of like a Super Bowl in a sense because we had a halftime performance, right, from U2. You know, you perform the Saints.
Yeah.
Saints are coming.
Yep.
And, the people that were in the dome at the time, they was literally crying when Gleason blocked that punt. Everybody, when you look left, you look right, man, everybody was just in their feelings, all the emotions from the hurricane. And it was just crazy. But like you said, so it was the loudest game that I've ever been to in my life. That was the loudest game I've ever been to.
My ears was ringing, man.
Man, it was crazy.
The decibels was, man.
It was crazy. It was
loud.
crazy. But yeah, for me, that's definitely one of the most memorable games for me. Another one, like you said, another memorable game. Obviously, we could say the Redskins game when Breeze broke the passing record. But for me, a couple years ago, man, when the Saints played the Colts on Monday Night Football, it was a crazy thing. I posted a tweet about 7-8 hours before the game, and I said, Drew Brees will throw the record-setting touchdown to the tight end, Josh. What's his name?
Hill.
Josh Hill. And I'm like, Josh Hill is gonna catch the record touchdown, and people were like, no, it's going to Traquan Smith. Oh no, it's going to Kamara. It's going to Mike Thomas. And I'm like, listen, the record touchdown is going to Josh Hill. I got money on this. And so I go to the game with all my coworkers, and we get in there, and I'm sitting literally like on the side of the 50-yard line. And it's getting time for Drew to throw the touchdown, and he threw the record touchdown to Josh Hill. Bro, my Twitter was going nuts.
Wish you could have put some money on that.
It was like Naderdamus, instead
What's
of
the odds of that?
Nostradamus. If I would have put money on that, I would have made so much money. I wish I would have bet on that. But yeah, man, that game right there, especially since we crushed them. I think they only scored 3 points that game. We smashed them, the Colts.
You got to get you a bookie and call him up in Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the odds of Josh Hill catching the touchdown for to break the record?
Man, so I would have won so much money that day.
1,001.
I would have won so much money that day. I ain't lying to you. But yeah, man. So that's definitely the most memorable moment in the Superdome. A lot of people are gonna say them kicking the field goal to go to the Super Bowl. Obviously that's a good one.
We had some good moments and we had some bad moments.
Yep. We definitely did have some bad moments, that's for sure.
There's some moments when I wanted to jump on the field. I wanted to beat up the refs.
We know which
y'all
one
know which ones I'm talking about.
We know which
I
one.
had the gloves, bro. But I say, you know what? If I do this, I might not be able to come back in the dome.
But you know what? So, in general, though, not even just about football. In general, man, the Superdome has held some memorable moments in its time.
Yeah.
You've had Muhammad Ali.
Final fours.
Final fours.
Muhammad Ali defending his, getting back his championship from Leon Spinks.
Yep. So you've had a lot, and we always throw down with the Super Bowls. Everybody always throws out when you say New Orleans and Super Bowl. They say
people don't know Sugar Ray Leonard and Roberto Duran fought in the dome.
Okay, all right. But when we talk about Super Bowl, so they say they always bring up whenever they hear New Orleans and they hear Super Bowl, they think about Beyonce turning out the lights in the Ravens and 49ers game. I know you remember that.
Yep.
And Jacoby Jones running that touchdown all the way back. So listen, man, we definitely got a lot of memorable moments in the Superdome. But again, so I agree with you.
A lot of people don't remember this one, but there was one when something caught fire and fell to the 50-yard line. It was on fire and it burnt the turf a little bit. I can remember that. I don't know what transpired and how did that happen, but it did. I remember when Russell Erxleben, when they used to have this thing used to hang halfway down to the field in the middle, and they stopped it because Russell Erxleben hit it with the ball when he punted.
Yeah.
There's just so many things, man, that done happen in that dome, man.
And they're actually doing renovations on the dome.
Yep.
The media was open to the media today, where they could go see the dome and see all the new suites behind the end zone and stuff. It's pretty cool. It looks fun. I'm definitely gonna put in with the bookie that Alvin Kamara is probably going to be the first person to jump in the stands with the fans after he scores a touchdown this year. So. Listen, man, Superdome's looking nice, man. It's looking nice, and the experience is it's going to feel, more close to the players, which is cool. They ain't got to jump over that big ramp to get to the fans. So that's definitely a cool thing. Now, so let's touch on some NFL news, man, before we jump into NBA. NFL news, man, the Patriots, out of all teams. And Bill Belichick, he doesn't like to have any issues with any players, but he is having an issue with star cornerback Stephon Gilmore right now, who wants a third contract. Now, as we know, the Patriots don't usually give anybody a third contract unless the guy's name is Tom Brady.
Right.
But what's your take on that? And he's saying that, man, he wants a new contract. What they gonna do with him?
And let's look at his body of work, man. I mean, if the guy is somebody that's going to help your team, Belichick. I mean, you don't have too much no more, you know. You got to pay the stars that you do have, man, to help you win.
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, you got to pay. You don't have time no more, so y'all got a little money to spread around. You know, I'll pay Stephon. He's a pretty good corner.
Yeah, I mean, I would say he's in the top 5 corners of in the league, right? And so, you know, like you said, his body of work is really, really good. He obviously wants another contract. I think that the Patriots are more reluctant to give him a contract because he's coming off of an injury, right? So, and he was gone pretty much half the season last year. And again, the cornerback last year that took his place really stepped up. He had 6 interceptions. So,
yeah, we had a few stars with nagging injuries last year that didn't do quite what they did in 19. Michael Thomas.
Yes.
So, you know, I mean, but, you know, it is what it is. Everybody might have a bad year or a down year or be hurt.
It happens.
I feel Michael's going to come back strong, and the same with him.
Yeah, it happens. Now, another guy that's probably going to come back strong and who Bill Belichick says that he's looking really good is Cam Newton. He says that Cam Newton is way ahead than he was last year. And listen, I seen some video on Twitter of some highlights in practice, and it looked like Cam was overthrowing everybody.
He never was really accurate.
Which
he
overthrows him, right?
Yeah.
Which we know he can overthrow somebody. Right. But man, Mac Jones looked really good coming behind him. And what's really weird is Mac Jones is wearing number 51, if I'm not mistaken, as a quarterback.
Wow.
In practice. Like, I don't understand what that's about. Yeah. But yeah, he's wearing 51, which looks very weird. Right. It looks like it looks like a linebacker throwing a pass.
You know what that looked like back when Pee Wee ball?
Yeah.
Hey,
that's
the
what that
quarterback
like.
Not doing good.
Yep.
Here, you come play quarterback.
Yeah.
Now.
Put this jersey. Yeah, put this jersey on. Yep. Yeah, man. So now speaking of them and speaking of the Patriots, former Patriot Vince Wilfork,
big guy.
His son DeAndre was arrested last month for allegedly stealing his dad's 2 Super Bowl rings and championship jewelry.
Wilfork let that happen?
What would you do if that happened to you?
Man, I know I put my hands on him. Put my hands on my son, man. Like I say, I don't think I'll have that problem with my son. You know.
But how you gonna steal your daddy's Super Bowl ring?
Exactly.
Like, you know how hard he tried to get those rings?
You know.
Come on, man.
While he was playing football, he should have been at home putting more discipline on that boy, man. And wow, man. This dude is out of control.
Out of control, stealing your daddy 2 Super Bowl rings. Come on, man. Now, another guy that a lot of people are making seem that he's out of control right now is Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon Bell came out this week and he posted on an Instagram post saying that he'll never play for Andy Reid again. He'd retire first before playing for Andy Reid. Now, as you know, in New Orleans, we're not going to let you say something, especially if you have a New Orleans player on your team. They're not going to let you just get away with saying something about their coach without, ribbing you back or coming back at you. So Tyrann Mathieu responded and said, "These fellas will blame everybody for their lack of success," taking a shot at Le'Veon Bell. Now, Le'Veon came out and said, y'all can say whatever y'all want, but what that man told me in person, I definitely will never play for him again. I'd retire first. So for those who don't know the story behind the story, hush your mouth. That's pretty much what he said. Now, looking at this, it's crazy how Le'Veon Bell's career has gone. You went with the Steelers. You was balling with the Steelers. Ben Roethlisberger, Antonio Brown, and him. They was balling. They was killing it. Then you want money. You want to get that big payday. And like they say, the grass is not greener on the other side, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So what he did, he took the money and he went to the white and green team, the Jets. Gets to the Jets. The coach is horrible with the Jets. He don't know how to coach a team.
The team is horrible.
The team was horrible. And after that, they ended up letting him go. He signs with the Chiefs. And the rest is history. But how could you say Andy Reid's a bad coach, though?
Right. Well, maybe Le'Veon is used to being the man, and he wasn't the man in Kansas City. So, sometimes you get in your feelings and things like that, but you should never, come out like that. You know what I'm saying? Just move on,
Just
man.
keep it moving.
You gotta play.
You a millionaire. You got money.
Yeah, you got a training camp coming up. Wherever you at, you need to ball out so you can be the man again. That's all to it.
Now, one guy that needs to ball out this year, he balled out all right today in practice. He was throwing the ball to everybody but his wide receivers. Tua, for the Dolphins, threw 5 interceptions on his first day of Dolphins minicamp today. Now, listen, this guy has a lot to prove going into this year too. He has some wide receivers around him going into this year now. They did, put some offensive line help for him. He definitely has to show up, man, because if he could show up, I think the Dolphins are going to be really good if he could show up this year.
I got a friend of mine that's a diehard Dolphin fan, and he was very upset when
they drafted him.
Yeah, he says Tua is garbage.
For real?
Yeah. He doesn't like Tua at all, and stuff like this, makes him sound like he know what he's talking about.
But
man.
the thing is too. So it is mini camp.
Yeah.
Mini camp, training camp, that's the time to get all the kinks out, get all the bad stuff out, right? It's similar to Jameis Winston, right? If you see Jameis Winston throwing all of these picks in the game when he was with the Bucs, now he's with the Saints, people are going to freak out if he throws 1 or 2 interceptions in training camp, right? They're going to be like, oh, he's back to his old ways, right? Oh, he doesn't know how to read this, or he don't know how to get the ball to this player. So I just think people put a lot of emphasis into it too much.
Right.
It's still mini camp. It's still his second year, He's going into his second year. So just give the man a chance like we said about Jameis. I think he'll do fine. And I'm actually rooting for him, man, because I want to see the Dolphins, be successful, man. It's always the Patriots in that division. Mm-hmm. So, man,
it's in that division is going to be Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, they definitely going to kill it.
Yeah.
They definitely going to kill it. They wide receiving core is crazy. Gabriel Davis.
Oh, man. That
Emmanuel
team is
Sanders,
solid all the way
Cole
around.
Beasley, Stephon Diggs.
It's going to be a good game against the Saints, baby.
Yeah, definitely. Thanksgiving night.
But we going to whip that butt.
Now, speaking of the NFC South, like we just said, the Panthers, man. Panthers announced longtime wide receiver Steve Smith Sr. will serve as their TV analyst in the preseason, this upcoming preseason. So I'm happy for him, man. He's trying to get his career, and he's with the NFL Network doing his thing. But to call games for your team, for your former team, I think that's a good look for him.
Steve Smith used to give the Saints fits.
Listen, that's one guy I respected. I respect him. Listen, it wasn't
He used to give the Saints. He had a chip on his shoulder when he played the Saints.
And
he did not like the Saints.
It wasn't like a situation with Roddy White where everybody just hated Roddy White.
Roddy White just his mouth he
just talked too much and he tweeted too much and stuff like that. But like with Steve Smith, as a Saints fan, whenever we play Carolina, oh man, we gotta find a way to slow down Steve Smith. But also, too, you respected him because he's a baller and he going to go out there and do what he got to do for his team. So, mad respect to Steve Smith, regardless if you burnt the Saints a lot, Roman Harper a lot.
Yeah. Him and Roman Harper used to get in the shoving matches, pushing matches, Man, they used to be in each other's face all the time. So, him and Steve Smith, period, with the same secondary.
Yep. He used to kill him. Doesn't matter who the corner or safety is, he roasting them. So big shout out to Steve Smith. Now, one guy that, I've been kind of thinking about, and this came out today actually. The quarterback for the Raiders, man, Derek Carr, came out today and said that the reason why he didn't request a trade this past offseason, because as you know, so they had a lot of rumors going around saying that, the Raiders were interested in Russell Wilson, and if they're interested in Russell Wilson, what's going to happen with Derek Carr? Well, Derek Carr never requested a trade, and he came out today and said that he would literally quit football.
Retire.
Yeah, he would retire from the NFL if he had to play for another team not named the Las Vegas Raiders.
Wow.
That's pretty crazy. That's pretty crazy. I don't know if he has a gambling problem that he's saying that.
Loyalty.
Or just being loyal. But there's not a lot of players that would say that though, right?
Right.
Nowadays. Like, can you get Michael Thomas to say, man, listen, I won't,
Right.
I won't play. I'll retire before I play for any other team not named the Saints. So I don't know, man. Derek Carr, shout out to you for saying that, but I don't believe him though.
Yeah.
I don't believe him because if another team came in and they traded him, he's not retiring. So cut it out. Now, let's talk about this NBA. Let's talk about the NBA because this this series was so funny, especially what went down with this series. So I showed Sol the video today, guys, of what happened. And Sol was like, damn, that's crazy. But the Phoenix Suns swept the Nuggets in 4 games. And what's crazy...
And look, wait, before you finish, let me just give, before he gets into that, let me just give a shout out to Monty Williams, Chris Paul, my boy Booker, but Chris Paul most of all. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't like Chris because they say he left. But what's a man supposed to do when he's there? He serves a team for years and years and years, and you're not going anywhere. You're not going to the finals. You're not getting deep in the playoffs. What you supposed to do? I would do the same thing.
Do you feel that same way for Anthony Davis?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I do. I mean, those guys were here, and I mean, you want to win. You want to win. That's why we play the game, to win championships.
Right.
And if I was in the NBA, that's what I would want to do. I would be loyal to my team, but if I see we're not going anywhere and I'm getting older, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm like, well, it's time for me to go. I try. I love y'all. Andy Davis was a little arrogant when he left, though.
That's all, folks.
Yeah. I appreciate that, Andy AD. But I understand. I'm happy for Chris, man. Chris is playing lights out, bro.
Yeah,
he's playing lights out right now, and I mean, I hope they do well, because there's really nobody I want to win. I mean, they got them guys over there in the East that, a couple of them haven't won anything.
Yep.
Durant, he won.
Yep.
Harden never won anything.
Nope.
Kyrie won. Kyrie, he won. So, I would love to see Chris, man, just get one ring, man. Just get him a ring, man.
And like you said, so him and Monty Williams, man, they have a special relationship. You know, Monty came out and he said that, Chris has meant so much to my career. He's meant so much to my life.
Yes.
The darkest moments of Monty's life, Chris was there. And one of the highlights of his career, Chris is there, right? Taking his team to the Western Conference Finals, man.
Monty Williams lost his wife in a head-on collision, bro. I mean, mean, stuff like that.
It makes you root
can't
for a
even
team.
See her in the casket.
Yeah.
The closed casket, man. I mean, that's hard. And you leave kids behind. Young kids.
So it really makes you root for the Phoenix Suns.
Yeah, it does.
It makes you root for the Phoenix Suns. It makes you root for CP3.
Yep.
CP3 is getting a little older, but man, he's definitely holding his own right now for the Phoenix Suns. Game 4, he had 37 points. So big shout out to him. Yeah. And I also want to give a big shout out to the Phoenix Suns fan who was up in the stands beating the hell out of the Denver Nuggets fans. It was so funny because Game 3 of the series.
Yeah, y'all look that up on YouTube, man.
Game
Phoenix Sun beats up Denver Nugget fan.
Did y'all see that?
That was kicks.
Oh my God.
Bruh.
Game 3 of the series. They had these Denver Nuggets fans, and they're actually playing the game in Denver. And so these guys were trying to hit this Phoenix Suns fan. The Phoenix Suns fan got up. Literally, the guy acted like he was leaving, and then he turned around and he tried to swing at the Phoenix Suns fan. The Phoenix Suns fan grabbed him by his head and started uppercutting him while his whole body was bent down, uppercutting him, messed him up. Dude was bleeding and everything, and then his friend tried to jump in. He snuck his friend, and then while he was literally holding his head down, still uppercutting him, and after he beat his ass, he was like, Suns in 4. He yelled, Suns in 4.
Right.
And the Suns won the series.
Top it off.
The next game in 4. So big shout out to him. I'm not condoning any violence, but I'm just saying it was pretty funny because the Nuggets fans started that with him, and he ended up beating them up. And what was crazy, your boy Devin Booker came out yesterday and said that he was trying to reach out to the fan and he needed his number because he had a gift for him or something for what he did. So it's all in fun and games, but you know, I just saw that was crazy, and a lot of people started tweeting the man and was like, well, what's gonna happen next? Since you said Suns in 4 and they won in 4,
right?
What the Suns gonna do in the next round? So I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll definitely see. Now, you talked about them boys in the East. James Harden is going to play tonight, coming back from his injury. So, and obviously Kyrie is going to miss this game with an ankle injury that he suffered in the last game.
One in, one out.
Yes. So the question of the night, I guess, regarding this matchup is, do you think the Bucks are rushing James Harden to come back?
I mean, with the talent they have, they shouldn't have to rush anybody. You know, so I feel like, yes, you know, if the guy's coming back and he's not 100, you know, I mean, they don't need all three of them guys. Two of them can win. Mm-hmm. You know, it don't matter what two.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
It could be KD, Harden, right. Or Harden, Kyrie.
Close your eyes, put a blindfold on, and just pick two.
But looking at this though, they were up 2-0. Now obviously they suffered an injury.
Yeah.
Right? They're playing tonight. I think the game is on right now as we speak. Yup, the game is on, and the Bucks are winning 22-9 at the moment in the first quarter with 3 minutes and 27 seconds left. Harden has just entered the game. And so I don't know, man. I don't know if that's going to affect them winning this series. I think the Bucks really have it on their mind, especially how they went out last year in the playoffs in the second round. You know, a lot of people are saying they can't get past the second round. You know, Giannis has been balling. He wants to go to the Eastern Conference champion, you know, the conference finals. But, man, it's going to be tough, man. It's going to be tough. But, man, the Bucks right now are shooting lights out. And if Kyrie's out for another game or two, right. I mean, that's gonna be a big difference. And then you got a limpy Harden right now. Yeah. I don't know. I think they are rushing him though. But you know, Kevin Durant came out and said, "I can do everything by myself. I can hold the fort down until them boys get back. I could put up 30, 40 points. It's not a big deal." They do have some shooters over there, right? And Harris and things like that. But I don't know, man. I just feel like they rushing him, and hopefully this doesn't turn into a situation where like KD was with Golden State when he came back too early against Toronto, and then he got really hurt and he was out for the season. So
talking about with the Achilles, huh?
Yeah, with the Achilles. So you don't want to bring him back too early, but you also want to lock down the series as well and go to the Eastern Conference Finals. So it's a hard situation to be in, but again, they got 3 All-Stars on their team, so they'll make it work, right? They have to make it work, I should say. Now, speaking of the Nets, and speaking of Kyrie Irving, as you guys know, Kyrie Irving in the last matchup against the Celtics stepped on their logo, Lucky, right? So former Boston Celtics player, Big Baby, we all know who Big Baby is, that boy out of BR, Baton Rouge, says that Kyrie has got weak ankles and he deserves what he got this past game because he stepped on the logo Lucky. What's your take on that? He just being petty?
Yeah, man. That's just a bunch of pettiness right there, man. Just a bunch of pettiness, bro. You know, I don't think it was. You think it was intentional? I think that was something that.
Nah, I don't think it was intentional. I just think it just happened like that.
Right.
It just happened. He fell awkwardly. You know, but I mean, what can you do? It's basketball. You know, people twist their ankles. It happens, you know. It happens. But it is kind of crazy how it did happen to him after he did step on the logo. Karma's a you know what.
Right.
So that's why you got to be. Listen, you win the game, Soul, and then that's it, bro. Shake everybody's hand. Just walk off the court. You ain't got to step on no logos or do anything like that, you know?
And don't get me wrong, man. You know how you can hurt somebody in basketball. You know, when they jump in the air, bro, if you get too far up under them, they coming down, bro. They can break an ankle. They can twist an ankle bad. You know what you're doing. That's why they look for that now. You know, they got to let the man come down. You know, you can't be up under him. You know, and You know, a lot of players know how to handle that and know how to come down too.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Now, speaking of another matchup, two more matchups that we got to touch on, man. The Clippers. The Clippers seem like they like going down 2-0 and then coming back and tying the series up. I don't know what's wrong with them. Instead of just locking the series down, they have been playing inconsistent. But one guy that has been stepping up that needed to step up was Paul George. You know, we can't call you playoff P if you don't show up in the playoffs, right?
Exactly.
So he's been showing up in the playoffs. They have been winning. They won yesterday. They tied the series 2-2 against Utah. And again, man, it just seems like they like coming back from a 0-2 start and winning the series just like they did last series. But listen, do you think that it is basically over for Utah now that these dudes then came back and tied the series up?
Like I said, I always thought that, you know, before Phoenix, I seen Phoenix just you go crazy. I always thought that the Clippers were going to come out, you know, just with the veteran presence of my boy Leonard and Paul George. Yeah. So you know, I think they're gonna edge. I think they'll maybe beat them and win in 5. And you know,
Well, they're going to have to win in 6 because it's tied right now.
It's tied.
It's tied 2-2. So, so they're going to have to win in 6.
They're going to have to win in 6.
But I think it's going to go to Game 7, to be honest with you. And the reason why I say that, Soul, is because when you look at these Denver games, when they play in Denver, bro, the crowd is rowdy. Right. I mean, these people are rowdy. They jumping up and down. They making the most noise. I can hear them through the TV, how loud they are. And so it seems like it's very hard to play there. You know, and Mitchell, man, Spider-Man, he definitely turns up. He definitely turns up when they play in Utah. He's averaging about 30 points a game when they play in Utah. So, listen, Paul George is going to have to step up, you know, and Kawhi Leonard's going to have to step up. Kawhi stepped up last night, though. He was dunking on people and everything. He was taking
whoever wins Game 3 is going to take it.
Yep. Whoever wins Game 5.
Game 5. I'm sorry. Whoever goes up 3-2.
Yep. So I don't know, man, but I do see the Clippers end up winning that series and playing the Phoenix Suns in the Western Conference Finals. Which is going to be crazy. That's going to be a good matchup. That's going to be a
good game.
Yeah, that's going to be a really good matchup moving forward. Now, another good matchup that we do have going on is the Hawks and the Sixers, man. That right there. Last night's game was nuts because the Sixers went up and it was up for 15 or 17 points. Right. And then next thing you know, the Hawks come back in Atlanta and they came back to win the game. Now listen, as we know, Atlanta teams don't come back.
Right.
They give up the leads and that's a wrap.
Exactly.
They don't come back anymore.
Right.
They
lose
right?
leads.
They lose the lead. So for the Hawks to come back from 15 or 17 points down and win that game.
How many points Trae Young had?
I'll tell you right now. You know that boy went off. Trae Young he's averaging 25.3 points a game. So he's doing damage. He is doing damage.
That's a series to watch.
Yes. And they won by 3 points. They won by 3. He had 25 points.
What's the series right now?
2-2.
Okay.
It's 2-2.
That's some good series, man.
Yeah, it's headed back to Philadelphia. And so, man, I don't know, man. The Sixers, they better pull these games out if they want to go to that Eastern Conference Finals. But I do see it like this. So, who would you rather make it to the Eastern Conference Finals out of those teams, the Sixers or the Hawks? Because if they play the Nets or Milwaukee, I don't think the Hawks can match up with any of those teams, in my opinion. I think it'll be like a 4-0 sweep type thing.
Yeah, you know,
I think the Sixers.
If they get past, I think the Sixers, man. If they get past the Hawks, they get past the Sixers, they're not winning nothing else.
That's it. That's a wrap. Because Brooklyn or Milwaukee, they got too much for them. Right. They can't stick Giannis. They can't stick Kyrie. They can't stick KD and James Harden all together. So, I don't know. But I'm going to go Sixers. I think Sixers are going to end up taking that series and moving on. And then in the East, I definitely got... Right now, man, we said it, the Nets. We think the Nets going to go to the championship. But, man, if Kyrie and Harden don't get healthy, that might change. So, that might change. Did you put that with the bookie?
No, I didn't.
All right.
I didn't. But, man.
And look, I want to give a big shout out to Kyrie too, since we talking about Kyrie. Kyrie and his girlfriend Marlene Wilkerson welcomed their first child together, man. So big shout out to Kyrie. So as he's dealing with his ankle injury, his girlfriend has given birth to their first child, man. So big shout out to Kyrie. You know that boy.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
You know his son gonna have dribbling skills out of this world.
Oh yeah.
He gonna be shaking everybody up. So
all kind of basketballs in that playpen.
You already know. Goals everywhere, right? So look, man. One more thing that I want to touch on before we get out of here. So, right? We talk about the Saints all the time. We talk about basketball and NFL, right?
Right.
I know you talk about fantasy football because we was talking about that earlier before we came on the show. So I want you to tell people about how many leagues you running in fantasy football and how the hell do you keep up with all of this stuff?
Oh man, I'm the commissioner for 5 fantasy football leagues, and I play in 6. I play in 6. No, I play in 7. I'm sorry. I got a new keeper league. I play with a guy named Siriaco. But 7 leagues, I run 5, it's tough. I mean, it's tough, but I'm used to it, so, like I say, I want you, I want y'all to get in it. Y'all play fantasy football?
Not yet.
Not yet?
They said
all
not
right.
yet.
Yeah, we got to we do our draft at Hooters. I mean, we have so much fun, man. We get free wings while we picking our players and everything, man. It's fun, bro. And I give everybody a Vince Lombardi trophy. Like if you win the league, you get paid. Like I got one league that pays $2,000.
Sheesh.
My other ones pay $1,000.
So balling.
Bruh, we have fun, man. I love doing it. So yeah. So
who's a player that you really want to draft this year going into the season?
Well, it's always nice.
Let me get your take on this.
It's always nice
because I knew who to pick before you. If I get the pick.
A lot of players go running back, first 3 rounds, and that's the prototypical way to pick. Mm-hmm. But sometimes I go, like when you got a Patrick Mahomes, you got to take him when he's there. He a beast. He a beast. So he a beast. You got to take him because Lamar Jackson. You got to take him.
The quarterbacks. The quarterbacks score the most points.
Throwing, running.
You know how it's broken down, Don? You don't know how it's broken down? All right, so just to give it out there, because some people don't even know how it really rolls. But so basically, you have 10 to 12 teams in the league, right? So when you do the draft, you do a snake draft. So basically, whatever number you get, let's say if you get 5, right? It'll go to you, and then you pick, and then it'll go all the way to 12, and then the person at 12 picks again. So they got 2 picks. They pick 12, and then again. And then it shoots back the other way, and then it goes back to you, right? So the way it works is if a quarterback throws a touchdown, you get 6 points, right? If the wide receiver catches a ball, that's 1 point for every, and it's called PPR. So point per reception.
If you have a PPR league,
if you play in PPR, it's point per reception. So if they catch the ball, you get a point. For every 10 yards, you get a point. So if they have 60 yards in a game, that's 6 points plus 6 catches, so that's 12 points.
And if they catch a touchdown, they get 6.
And they get 6, so that's on top of it.
Get 6
points.
So
whenever, like if me and Soul was playing against each other, the score could be like 135 to 128 because that's how many points you have. So you have 1 quarterback. You usually have 2 running backs, usually 2 wide receivers. Some leagues, they put 3 wide receivers, a tight end, a flex spot, which means a flex means you could put
running back, tight end, or wide receiver.
Yeah, running back, tight end, or wide receiver, a kicker, and a defense. Right. So if a kicker kicks the field goal 50 yards, makes it from 50 yards, you get 5 points for that kick. Yeah. Or if it just the
depends on how the scoring is. Yeah. So basically, it
just depends like that.
My lineup against your lineup. Whoever scored the most points on Sunday, whoever do better at the end, the total. From both teams, that's who win. Then we go to week 2, and we play somebody else. Week 3, week 4.
Now, we talked about, like you said, so what's the number 1 position people pick when they draft in first round?
Usually running backs.
So speaking of running backs, let's just touch on this real quick, man. the top 5 running backs going into this year in fantasy football, right? I would say number 1, Christian McCaffrey.
And Kamara.
I would say 1, McCaffrey. 2, Dalvin Cook.
Yeah, you say Dalvin Cook.
You say Kamara.
I say Kamara.
Okay.
Saquon Barkley.
Okay.
You know, he was up there. He got hurt last year.
Derrick Henry.
Yeah. Derrick Henry, yeah.
And Dalvin Cook, in my opinion. Zeke is up there, but Zeke fumbles too much for me. He just does. He's a Jared Cook, but he plays running back. Now, as far as wide receiver, top 5, I would say number 1, Tyreek Hill. Number 2, Devontae Adams. Number 3, Diggs. I think Diggs is going to go off this year with Josh Allen, especially having Emmanuel Sanders. Right. DeAndre Hopkins. I would say also 2, Mike Thomas. Calvin Ridley might have a big year. Justin Jefferson, DK Metcalf. I mean, we could go on and on, man. Wide receiver is a plethora of wide receivers.
That's a deep position.
Top 5 quarterbacks going into this year. What you got?
I got Patrick Mahomes.
All right, me
Lamar
too.
Jackson, Aaron Rodgers.
Well, we don't know where he's going to play, though.
Well, yeah. Well, if he's playing, you know, you got to put him, you know, up there in the top 5. Jameis Winston. That's right. That's right. That's right. Why?
Listen, he might. I don't know.
And I bet nobody's going to want to pick him.
That's true.
I bet you.
I mean, he might be on waiver wires. I ain't going to lie. He might be on waiver wires. But if he is, pick him up as your backup quarterback.
Your Saints fans going to pick him, though. Your Saints fans going to pick him.
Because they know he's going to throw them bombs.
Right.
That's why.
Patrick and Lamar, 1 and 2.
I would say also, too, man, Josh Allen.
Yeah.
And Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray's going to do good.
Little scat back.
Also, too, man, a guy that a lot of people sleeping on who's coming back from an injury, Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
I think Dak should have a good year as well this year. And like you said, Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, those guys. But, yeah, man, that's our fantasy players going into the season. Because I know you brought it up today, and I was like, man, I was like, man, we got to say that on the show. At least talk about our top 5 positions. Yeah. Going into this year. But yeah, man, fantasy football is really fun. Don and Johnny, if y'all don't know how to play, we definitely welcome y'all into the league because that's free money for us. So but yeah, man, definitely. So other than that, so you got any shout outs?
Yeah, I want to shout out to everyone that came out to the Saints Anthem video shoot. Shout out to my boy King Mike. Shout out to Samaj, Dirt Zaya, Mike Bass for putting everything together.
Shout out to Mike Bass, man.
The cameramen, we had an Indian come out there, man. Everybody that came out and all that heat. And then we went over to Jackson's Brewery over there by the cathedral. Mm-hmm. And it was kind of drizzling a little bit, but they stayed out. And we got some good footage. And just want to give everybody
when the video coming out, so
should be about another week. All right. You know, and it should hit. And like I said, got some more upcoming songs coming. Shout out to my boy Jay the Wizard. Me and him have a song coming out. Me and Mike got another video. Nothing like New Orleans. We redoing that video.
Man, you all over the place, huh?
Me and Jay the Wizard got a song, and then me, Mike, and Jay, we got to get in the studio. We already got our verses together, and we just gotta put it down. So we're gonna get in the studio and do one more Saints song.
My boy Soul
called Louisiana Die Hard.
My boy Soul be writing raps.
Oh man, I've been doing it for a long time, man. Yep.
Flowing off the top of the head.
Yep. I'm an old rapper like Busta Rhymes, somebody.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah, I love it. I love it, man. I love doing it. And it's a hobby. I never wanted to take it like, okay, well, I want to be a rapper. That's my career and stuff like that.
It's just for fun.
Yeah, just do it. I just do it for fun. These guys out here, they hustling and grinding. They want to get a record deal.
Right. It's hard, man.
It's hard, bro. You know how many millions of rappers you got around the country?
Yeah, it's hard breaking through.
Man, singers.
Look, Johnny
rappers,
and Don can tell you, man, it's hard breaking through. It is definitely hard breaking through, man. Yeah. But you got to keep pushing, though.
Yeah.
You got to keep pushing. You're going to have ups. You're going to have downs. You just got to keep it moving, A couple just shout outs for me, man. I just want to give a big shout out to Element Beverage Company again for sponsoring Sports Overtime. big shout out to them, man. Y'all go cop that lemonade. They definitely have the lemonade everywhere in the city. Go ahead, Soul.
I almost forgot, man. I want a moment of silence, man. I lost a good friend, man. A good friend of mine last week had a heart attack.
Oh, man.
Alcide Butch Bennett. You know, he was the founder of the Rascals Bike Club. I was with the Rascals a little while, but Butch was a good guy, man. He was a good man. He was also with Zulu.
Okay.
He was one of the Rascals with Zulu. So big, tall guy, light complexion guy, you know, and you know, just all of a sudden, you know, just had a heart attack. His fiance found him, and you know, just want ask y'all to pray for his family.
Yeah, man.
You know, pray for his friends and family, man. You know.
Yeah, man. Keep him in y'all
too
prayer.
soon. Gone too soon.
Yeah, man. A lot of people have been gone too soon lately, man.
Yes,
So it's crazy, man. So y'all keep them in your prayers, and keep all the families that are going through you know, any struggles right now, man. Y'all keep them in your prayers. Again, man, I just want to give a big shout out to Element. And I know a lot of people always tweet me and like, where can I buy Element? Where can I find Element? Element is in the Triangle on North Broad, Nola Seafood on North Broad, Manchus, Tasty Treats, Nano's Restaurant, North Claiborne. They're in Morrow's, Lil Dizzy's, Richard's Food Store in the 7th Ward, Brooks Food Store, Bromart Supermarkets, Conseco's, Labories. I mean, they all over the place, man. So y'all support Element. And again, man, we are having the Element Beverage Fest on August 14th at 6 p.m. at the Southern Food and Beverage Museum, 1504 Aretha C. Haley Boulevard in New Orleans. The tickets are on Ticketmaster. The tickets are on Eventbrite. We're going to have live entertainment, food vendors, cash bar, and raffles, man. So y'all support that. We're going to be celebrating the life of Devin, who created Element. Obviously, he passed away a couple of years ago. So we're going to be celebrating his life and his vision in making the Element drink, man. So y'all definitely support that. That's going to be huge for everybody that likes Element. Also, too, man, big shout out to DJ PK1. He is doing his thing in Baton Rouge right now. He is also a sponsor of Sports Overtime. So big shout out to him. Also want to give a big shout out to Bradford and McGee Tax Services. Today was the last day to do y'all taxes. I hope y'all did it. The IRS coming after y'all ass if you didn't. And and then I also want to give a big shout out to Teddy and King George Entertainment as well. And give a big shout out to all the Saints fans on Twitter and all over the world, man. Big shout out to y'all.
Who that?
Again, man, me and Soul are going to be at the Seattle game. So any fans that's going to Seattle, tweet us on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram and let us know. We'll link up. We'll have a fire tailgate party.
Yeah.
You know, show them how we throw down in New Orleans, in Seattle. And other than that, man, we'll see y'all next week.
All right.
Same place.
Y'all have a good night. Be safe.
Same time, man. This is Real Sports Talk from Real Sports Fans here on the Music Exchange Radio Network. And we out.
Tease.
Whoa, now, what it be like, T?
I heard the Who That Nation want us to do a song together.
For sure. Let's do this.
Check it out.